So there I was in the car driving home from this big rah-rah network marketing event that my wife and I had gone to in Palm Springs, California, because it is weird. That's why it feels weird, because it is. Let's call it what it is. It's weird. No more hokey stuff. No more unprofessional crap. You can be a professional network marketer. It doesn't need to be this hokey, weirdo way to build a business. And I got into the car in Palm Springs feeling pumped up, ready to go to build a business. Back then, my wife and I lived in West Hollywood, California. And halfway home in the 3 hour trip, all of a sudden I became completely dejected, frustrated, and fearful for my future. I think if you've been building your network marketing business for any amount of time, I think you're going to relate to my story here and what I went through and the solution that I found that helped me build an international business and just get the whole thing rocking and rolling. What happened there is, and you've probably seen this happen yourself when you've gone to any of your company events, right? You go to these events, you get there on a Friday typically, and it runs till Sunday. And all these people go across the stage. You have these great speakers, and it's very exciting. And a lot of personal development training is talked about from stage, and all the possibilities of what you can do with the business and all that stuff. You get all pumped up and you think, hey, I can do this too. If they can do it, I can do it, right? The people that are on stage talking to you. And so this was my mindset driving home from that event. This is a few years ago. And up to that point, I had built what I would call a smallish team up to that point. So this video is for you, whether you're brand new in network marketing, maybe you've been in it for a year or two or even 5 years and you've had a little bit of momentum here and there, or maybe you're even a top leader right now, but your team is just not duplicating. This is for you, okay? Because we've all been through these emotions where you get pumped up, you think you can do it, you go home, you start working the next week towards bringing people in, doing all the stuff, right? And I'm in the car. I'm driving home with my wife. We're about halfway home, and we were talking about the event, and we were all excited about it. And up to this point, I had, I guess the best way to say it is I had made a lot of promises to my wife up to that point about how this business was going to do this for us, and we were going to have this money, and all these great things were going to happen because I was building this business. And she was 100% behind me. But coming up to that event, and maybe the weeks preceding that event, I had started to notice when she looked at me and we talked about the business, I could just see in her eyes something was different. She never said anything, but I could just tell that her faith in me to fulfill on those promises was starting to wane. And that hit me to the core. I had made those promises and I wanted to fulfill on those promises. I wasn't just talking. And so if you're the person right now building the business and you have a spouse that maybe isn't working it with you, but you've made a lot of promises to, and they're behind you, they have your back until they don't, because they just don't see it working. They don't see anything occurring. You're spending a lot of time away from them and nothing is really coming in terms of income and momentum and growth and all that kind of stuff. You may have had that feeling of, I'm letting my spouse down. I'm letting my wife or husband down. And if you're a certain type of person, I'm talking to a certain type of person right now, that bothers you. It hits home. And so that was kind of the backdrop to this ride home. And about halfway home, all of a sudden it dawned on me, hey, I'm all excited about building this business. This weekend was great. But my skill level is at the same skill level it was back on Friday when we got there. And now I'm driving home on a late Sunday night. I don't know what I'm going to do differently tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday that's going to make my business operate any differently than it is now. Like, there's nothing in this weekend that I just came off of that got me all pumped up that has given me any skill that's going to change anything. And I was looking at my wife, and all of a sudden this sense of dread and this sense of, it was really a sense of, when I'm trying to put myself in that situation right now, the feeling really was no hope. It was hopelessness. It was absolute just dread. That's the best word I can think of right now. I'm looking at her, and all of a sudden I was enveloped with these feelings of, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I can fulfill on these promises that I made to her. I don't know if I can fulfill on the promises I've been telling myself all these years that I'm going to do this great thing in this business. Have you ever been there where you look back at all the work you've done in your business and it really in your mind, you think, I've done some things, I've made some product sales, I've maybe recruited a few people, but it's been months or maybe it's been years for you and there's no real growth. There's no like, I started here and now I'm up here. It's like I started here and I almost feel like I'm down here. it's not, it's not growing. I've spent more money on the business. That's why I'm down here than I've actually earned. You ever been there or are you there right now? I've been there. I get it. I get it. And that's where I was. And I was so, not only was I getting a sense of dread, but I was angry at myself. I was just so frustrated with myself. I've made all these promises. I've talked big. All this great stuff is going to happen. And it wasn't happening. Why wasn't it happening? It was my skill set. And so I want to warn you, if you're operating your network marketing business right now on rah-rah crap and getting excited about stuff and lying to yourself, to be honest, you're lying to yourself if you think that alone is going to get you where you want to go. If you're not where you want to be, just based on my experience, learn from me. As you can tell, I'm kind of an old dude here, been around, okay? I'm not 25 anymore. Learn from me. Don't take the time it took me to figure this out. It took me years to figure this out. You can learn it right now in this moment and go do something about it. That's the point of this video. Go do something about it. What is it that you need to do? You need to up level your skill set, your sales and marketing, okay? It's not 1995 anymore. It's not 1985 anymore. In network marketing, it doesn't need to be this hokey, weirdo way to build a business by getting a list together of people you've known throughout your life and calling them and saying, hey, here's what I'm doing now. You want to join this thing? Right? It doesn't need to be going out to dinner and bugging the waiter or waitress and trying to get their phone number. It doesn't need to be you're running errands with your husband or wife and your kids and trying to hit up people that you meet and all that weird stuff. I mean, if you're an outgoing person, maybe it works, but I'm an introvert. And you know what? In my experience, most people building network marketing, the majority of people are actually introverts. It's very interesting. That kind of stuff does not come natural to people like us. I hated it, but I did it because I wanted to win. You don't need to do any of that stuff anymore. It's hokey. Okay? Let's just call it what it is. And that's why network marketing has a bad rap to a lot of people out there, is because they're tired of being hit up like that. It's weird. You know, Nike doesn't sell shoes that way. Let's go bother people on the street and see if they'll buy my shoes. They market like a real marketer. We're in the age of the internet. There's something called social media. You can learn how to use social media in the right way and actually attract people to you that actually want to buy your product because they've got the problem specifically that your product or service that you are selling in your company solved. Market to those people. Learn how to do that. That's what I did. The weeks and months and years following this car ride that I'm telling you about, that's what I started to learn. I started to finally learn internet marketing and applied it to my network marketing business. I stopped doing the hokey stuff and I really started to enjoy the process. And I eliminated rejection because I was just attracting people who wanted to get the solution that my product that gave them. I just wish I could help you learn this quick and easy and just have it turned around tomorrow, but that's not possible. But you need to start learning these skills and applying them and stop all the hokey stuff and don't use social media hokey either. Don't just go into people's DMs and start saying, hey, I saw your profile and based on what I'm seeing here, you seem like a sharp person and I'm building a business. That's just doing the old offline crap that was hokey and applying it to the internet. What I'm talking about is actually learning internet marketing, learning social media marketing in a way where your messaging hits home to a specific target audience. I don't have time on this video to go into all that marketing stuff, but if the message I'm giving you here, if you've been through these emotions I'm talking about of dejection and rejection and fear, and I'm never going to be able to do this, and I'm letting my spouse down, I'm letting my children down. If you're in that mode right now, I'm speaking to you. Go to the pinned comment and description. I've given you a link down there to a free 5-day digital recruiting bootcamp that teaches you the skills that I learned that now you can learn, and you can create what's called an attraction marketing funnel. There's 3 phases to it. An attract phase where you attract the right people for your product. So now they're asking you about it. You're not bugging anybody. They're coming to you. You're not going out. You're attracting them into your world. And then there's a second phase called the influence phase, where once they start paying attention to your social media stuff, now you're putting out more content that's just influencing them positively. And then thirdly, because of that, you get to the enroll phase, where they want to enroll into buying your product or service or joining your business, whatever it might be that's right for them. And you build that out, and you get your social media marketing to a point where your posts are attractive to people. That's how you do this. No more hokey stuff. No more unprofessional crap. You can be a professional network marketer. That's what turned it around for me. I became a professional, not this hokey guy running around out there bugging people or calling up my old friends from high school and all that stuff that felt weird. Because it is weird. That's why it feels weird. Because it is. Let's call it what it is. It's weird. Okay? So if that's you and you're tired of it, go get that free training. Go through the 5 days. Build it out. Now, if you'd also like to get a little more details from me around what that looks like, because this is more of a personal development type talk, not really a marketing talk on this video. I've done another video, and I'll put it right here for you, where I've gone into details about the attraction marketing funnel. I break down the first part you got to learn, the attract phase. So click on that, and I'll teach you some cool stuff that will get you out of the weirdo marketing into the professional marketing. Let's do this. Let's get your business going.